Always lots of learning, right? Okay. And then Instagram is on. Hello, Instagram. So happy holiday long weekend Sunday. If you're honoring or observing anything this weekend, much love to you as you celebrate that. This weekend is sort of just very chill and calm in my household. Flow and restore. I really love this practice because it is a beautiful honoring of all systems of our body, not just the nervous system, our sympathetic nervous system that likes to go and move and flow and do things, but also our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest. And it's so important to honor both, even though we feel maybe like there is more resting happening in our day-to-day lives these days. To have a really held space for that is important. So I really recommend that you stay for the full thing. Props if you want to use them, especially for the restorative part after. Blocks if you have them, or anything that will substitute for that. I have a whole stack of blankets here, so 3 or 4, whatever you have lying around is fabulous. I have some pillows here. These came directly from my bedroom, so they don't have to be fancy. So I have 2 like pillowy sized pillows and then 2 smaller options as well. So please feel free to gather anything you need, any water, any tea, anything that's going to get nice and cozy for you today. Now, because we're doing half these, we're going to sort of crack right into it. So knowing that you're welcome to honor anything that you need at any time. I'm just going to grab my tea. Anything you need at any time, and I will do my best to make sure that we have loads of options. So finding your way onto your mat, you can be right in the middle of your mat. Can we take a nice big breath in, reach up to the ceiling through the nose. Exhale, blow it out. Let the arms swing. Inhale, big sweep up. Inhale, big stretch. Exhale, bring it down. Let it swing. Inhale, big reach up. Can you come up onto your tippy toes? Breathe in, breathe in. Exhale, swing it down. 3 more. Inhale, really reach. Exhale it down. 2 more. Inhale, really reach. Push the floor away. Maybe stretch. Exhale down. 1 more time. Inhale, reach. And then exhale it down. Hold yourself down in a forward fold. I'm going to turn sideways, but you can keep facing how you're facing. Can you let your hands come down to the floor, which means you might need to bend your knees quite significantly. If you notice, I don't know if you can see, but hopefully you can. My legs are quite bent here. Taking a nice big breath in through your nose. And exhale, sighing it out through your mouth. Inhale to breathe it in, letting yourself hang out here. Now, if your head doesn't love being below your heart, you're always welcome to come up halfway. Yeah, you don't need to stay down. Inhaling here. Exhaling to melt. We're going to add a little bit of flow to this. So as you inhale, bring your hands up, maybe your shins, maybe your thighs, and lengthen your spine out. And can you channel what you would be feeling if you were doing like your nice, lovely, long cow belly? And then exhale, can you fold forward and can you round? Like if you were doing your cat. Inhale to draw yourself up, lengthen, and really think about extending more so than you maybe usually would. And then exhale, bend your knees, fold forward. Inhale to lengthen up, using a bit of glute strength here to help support you. And then exhale to round it down. 2 more, inhaling it up. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling to lengthen it up. Exhaling to fold. Can you keep rounding? Can you keep bending your knees? Walk your legs back and find yourself in a quadruped. So it's sort of like a little bit of a reverse engineer here. Now that you're on hands and knees, inhale, lengthen out from tail to head. Exhale, scoop, tuck around. Really find the glutes here as you push the floor away. Inhale to lengthen out. Really thinking about drawing the tailbone out and away from you. Exhaling, scooping from the belly. Push the floor away. Really rounded. Let's really think about scooping from those low abs, firing the glutes to find a really rounded cat shape here. 1 more time. Inhaling to lengthen it out. Exhaling to scoop and round. Can you take this scoopy shape, slide it back towards your heels. Bring it forward, keep rounded. Exhale, slide it back to your heels. So this whole time I'm moving, I'm trying to keep my belly and my back quite rounded here. My toes are tucked underneath me right now because I'm enjoying that bit of a stretch as my bum goes back, but you can totally untuck here if you'd like. Gives you a little bit more range potentially. Inhale, forward scoop. Exhale, back. Bringing a little bit of movement to this. Maybe you start to come around to the side, but can we keep a rounded shape the whole time? Around to the other side and forward and back. just honoring a little bit of a stretch through that low back, starting to really tune into that space between pubic bone and belly button, that low ab. Whew, deep transverse. One more time. Scoop around. Take your body weight back. Tuck your toes if they're not already. Use the support of your hands. Slide your hips back and up and take a really bendy, maybe hopefully your first downward dog of the day. Inhale, big breath in through the nose. Exhale, out through the mouth. 2 more like that, please. Inhale. You can make this a really movie shape here. Exhale it out. 1 more time. Inhale it in. Exhale it out. We're going to channel a little bit of our Easter spirit today and just bounce, like little bounces, little hops, little hops, little hops, all the way up to your hands. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale it down. Bend through your knees, push the floor away, sweep your arms all the way up, that big stretch again. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Take a pause. Inhaling in through the nose. Exhaling out through your mouth. Close your eyes for me. Take a breath. Notice how you are feeling now that we're on our mat, now that we're moving. Knowing that really this is just a blueprint for your own practice, and at any time you're welcome to modify, even if it's something I haven't called out. Feeling excited about moving together, excited about building a bit of heat. Bring those hands right down to your hips, Tadasana, mountain pose. Walk those feet together as close as you can and start to stick your bum back behind you. Connect into that belly. Take a chair and pause. Now let's keep our hands down to start. So this kind of looks similar to a shape we've already been in, right? We were kind of here already on hands and knees. Notice how easy it is to extend through that low back. So right out of the gate, can we think about sliding those low ribs down and in? Pelvic floor draws up, tailbone out, and we're nice and low in those legs. Now, as long as everything's going well with that upper body, you can bring your hands to your heart to lengthen your arms through, or your chest through. Sorry, you could bring those arms forward to frame your ears. Can you make sure that, yes, okay, the weight is back in the heels, but can you make sure you also feel your toes? You're going to inhale to come up an inch. And then exhale to sit back down. Inhale to come up an inch. Exhale to sit back down. Leave your hands where they are. I'm just going to move to show you as I'm lifting, I'm pushing through my feet, firing up through my bum. Little pulse here. Lift up an inch, down an inch. 2 more, up an inch, down a little inch. 1 more time, up an inch. Down a little inch, take a breath in as you breathe out, fold over the legs, maybe straighten them a little bit. Inhale, slide hands to shins or thighs, lengthen forward. As you exhale, lower down, can you step back to a plank? And let's pull up our knees delicately down to the floor to start. Can we keep turning on those glutes, troubleshooting through our arms here? So push your arms through the floor, pull your hands nice and wide, hug heels of hands down towards you. Opening wide through those collarbones, energizing your torso forward. Can you inhale, start to bend, but only go about halfway? Push through all 5 of your fingers on each hand, and then exhale up, which would make 10. 10 is the number we want. Inhale down, press through all 10 finger pads to push up. So halfway with those arms. Exhale, squeeze and push. I inhale to lower. My arms are squeezing and collarbones open. Exhale, push up. 2 more. Inhale, halfway. Exhale it up. 1 more time. Inhale to go halfway. Exhale, push up. Hold it here. 5 super deliciously slow counts to lower down for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Let your belly find the floor. Untuck your toes. Pedicure side of your foot finds the ground. Can you keep your hands underneath your shoulders? Inhale to lengthen up just a little. And notice as you lengthen your chest, if your hip bones super pop down to the floor, can we think about pubic bone to the floor? Inhale to lower your chest. Exhale to lift just a little. This is opposite to what you'll be doing when you move in your full flow. But I just want you to experience how that exhale is going to help draw the ribs in. 1 more time. Inhale to lower upper body down. Exhale to lift the upper body just that little bit. Hold the upper body lengthening long. Find your pubic bone to the floor. Glue your toes down and then lift those hands to hover. If this is going well in your hover, maybe you take those arms and open them out to the shape of a T. If this is going well, maybe you take those arms and shoot them forward. Holding here for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Gently lower those hands back underneath your shoulders. Little baby cobra to start together. Inhale now to lift up. As you exhale, slide your lovely selves all the way back any way you need into your downward dog. 5 breaths here, please. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, slide out through your mouth. The next 4 are yours. So anytime you're in downward dog, you keep being where you need to be. Downward dog is so relative. It could be on hands and knees doing a little bit of cat-cow. You could be up kneeling doing some cat-cow or some like whoop, whoop, little dance party. You could be bending through your knees and moving in your downward dog. You could be totally still. Wherever you are, take your down dog or whatever shape you're in. Inhale all together through the nose. Exhale, side out, stick your tongue out. We're going to inhale to lift our heels up. As you exhale, look forward, and if you want to do those little baby hops all the way to the top again, you can. Squeeze those legs together, stick your bum back down, draw to your belly, come back into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Take your inhale in, take your exhale out. Now, as you're breathing here, if you'd like to move with your Ujjayi breath, which would be inhale through the nose, keep going, exhale through your mouth. You totally can. Inhaling in. Siri was like, oh, I want to do yoga too. One more time, inhale in. As you exhale, stand all the way up, take those hands, bring them back down to heart center, breathe in. As you breathe out, sticking your bum back out, reaching your arms wherever feels good for you. 3 breaths, inhale in through the nose. Exhale it out through the mouth, maybe sit a little bit lower. Good, inhale in through the nose. Maybe this time you exhale through your nose. One more time, breathe in. As you breathe out, melt forward over the legs, maybe straighten them a little bit if you can. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to lower down, step back to your plank. Now, option to keep your legs all the way up and straight here. Hold it. Push the floor away from you. Pull those hands away from each other. Hug heels of hands towards your toes. And you're still reaching back with your heels, yeah? So there's this gorgeous opposition of everything underneath your belly is squeezing into each other. Everything in your back chain is reaching long. Take 3 more breaths here. Inhaling in. I'm starting to shake. Breathe it out. Inhale. Coming back to your breath always. That's the purpose of our practice, right? One more time. As you breathe out, gently lower the knees, start to lower your upper body. Keep an essence of that upper body strength. Inhale into your baby cobra or your full up dog, and then exhale, push back, downward dog. 5 breaths here, please. Inhaling in. Exhale, maybe we sigh out. Now you'll notice if you're watching me at all, that I tend to not stay particularly still here. I like to keep it really like movey and bouncy and juicy. But that doesn't mean you have to do that, yeah? You could always stay completely still, bringing the attention and tension into your body. Inhaling together. Exhaling it out. On your next inhale, can you lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward, and as you exhale, little jumps up to the hand if you'd like to keep embracing that. Can you inhale to come up halfway? Exhale to fold forward, bend your knees, squeeze those legs together, fire your glutes, lengthen yourself up and out. It's like a little bit of a lever, that lower body. 3 breaths here, please. Breathing in through the nose. Exhaling it out through your mouth. Inhaling in. Maybe exhale through your nose. Keep drawing those ribs in. Keep lowering through the glutes. Push your toes and heels into the floor. 1 more breath in here. Stand it all the way up, Meshab. Good work. We're going to root down through our feet. You can separate them. I'm going to face you, but you don't have to turn to face me. Pushing your feet into the floor. And can you get really nice and rooted down in your left foot? And we're going to take the right leg and lift it up and just give it a little turn out, a little baby tree. Now your foot can come down to your shin. It can come to your outside of your calf. It could come potentially all the way up. I don't love pulling my leg up. This is where it lands happily, so be where it feels good for you. Hands can come to your heart. Feeling like so radiant here, or maybe not. Feeling super wobbly, that's fine. Taking those arms, reaching those arms up, growing your tree. And then if you'd like to take your tree for a little bit of a dance, you can. Keep reaching those arms up, find center, breathe in. As you breathe out, can you lower your right hand down to meet your inside of your right thigh? Can you take your left arm up a bit higher and take a side bend over? Now, if this feels impossible, you could always put that foot down. Taking that bend. And once you've found that up and over arc, maybe you can take it a little bit further. Maybe you find resistance of your hand against your outer thigh, or inner thigh, I should say. 1 more time, breathe in. Bring yourself all the way up, but can you leave the right thigh to the right calf? Bring your hands back into center. Take the right leg, rotate it, and pull it nice and tight into your chest. Squeeze it in, squeeze it in, squeeze it in. Maybe you take your hands, they come underneath your thigh to give you an extra little tug. Stay here, breathe in. Stay here, breathe out. Now, I love exhaling through my mouth, which is not a traditional breath at all. I just find it helps with my ribs because I'm like a really high up in my chest person, and it really helps bring me down. So if you're hearing me exhale a little bit more loudly, that's why. You can breathe however works for you. You're going to take the left hand. Can you bring it to the outside of your right thigh? Now we're going to keep this small to start. Right hand to right hip. Can you draw your right hip down and lift your spine up tall? Use your left hand to your right thigh to keep squeezing that leg in as you take your first little baby rotation here. Stay here, breathe in through the nose. Out however makes sense for you. Can you keep that rotation and maybe start to extend that right leg long? Now maybe your left hand can scoot down to the outside of your right foot and it reaches out. Maybe your back right hand can go for a twist here. Pretty big stretch through the body. Take 2 breaths. I'm going to turn sideways so you can stay where you are. Breathing in. Stay where you are. Breathe it out. Stay where you are. Breathe it in. Stay where you are. Breathe it out. Okay, we're getting fancy. Can you keep holding this? Can you start to bend your left knee as if you were going to maybe squat? And as you do that, can you keep connected to your thigh or to your foot as you bring it all the way back down to the floor? You're still in a twist here. Left arm is reaching down. Here, I'll turn and face you towards the ground. Right arm is reaching up. Breathing it in. Breathing it out. Stay in your twisted Utkatasana. Start to bend your elbows, bring your hands together. Left thigh is on the outside of the right knee. We kind of reverse engineered that, eh? Using your hands to open up through your chest, zipping into that belly. Take 1 more breath in. Take a breath out and get a little lower. Stay low in those legs. Start to sweep those arms back up and forward into our chair. Inhale here to get nice and deep. Exhale, fold over those legs. Maybe stretch a little bit straighter. Inhale to come up halfway. As you breathe out, lower the hands. Step back, find your plank, and then pause. Can you take your left hand and scoot it forward just a little bit of the right? Start to rotate your body so your left pinky toe side of your foot finds the floor. Maybe the right stacks on top. It's a side plank. Now your right leg can come forward. You could also be on knees. Take your breath in. Take your breath out. You could also not be here at all. You're always welcome to find a child's pose at any time, always coming back to your breath. 1 more time, breathe in. As you breathe out, start to bring your right hand back down to the floor. Rotate yourself, find your plank. Inhaling here to get long. As you breathe out, maybe bending the knees. Start to lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or full up dog. Exhale to roll back. Take your downward dog. 5 breaths here, please. Inhale. You stay. I'm going to get a drink. Exhale it out. Inhaling in through your nose. Exhale, maybe lion's breath. Stick your tongue out. Maybe starting to find more stillness in your downward dog or child's pose, wherever you are. Let's take this breath together. Inhale to lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, maybe it's 1 big jump to the top of your mat. Bend your knees, sweep those arms up, take your breath in. Exhale to stand up nice and tall. Give your arms a little shaky shake. All of that on the second side. Give your legs a little. Give your arms a little. Those aren't real technical terms. And a zhuzh. But feels good to say. All right, second side, all brand new as if nothing even happened. We're like so fresh as a daisy. Getting nice and rooted this time on your right foot. Thinking tall, tall thoughts. Push your right foot into the floor, maybe hands to your hips. Bring your left leg up. Take the left leg, turn the left thigh out, and place it anywhere along the inseam of your right leg. That could be your calf, that could be your thigh. Take a second to just be like, whew, I feel the opposition. I feel my foot reaching down through the floor. I feel my spine growing really, really tall. Maybe take those hands, bring them to heart center. Use it as leverage to lift. But the essence of planking is still existing here, right? That's why they're so great in our practice, because then they sort of ripple and reappear in different spaces. You can maybe take those arms and grow your tree and give yourself a little woodland dance, a little long weekend Sunday. Zhuzh. Okay, take those hands. Can you take your hands, bring them back down to your heart for a minute? Keep opening up. Now again, really root down through that right leg. Your left hand comes down to find your left inseam. Right arm is up overhead. And maybe we take that side bend here. Now find your up and over first, yeah? So we're not just collapsing in our body. We want to keep building on our resiliency here. So reaching up and over, and then maybe give your hip a little extra bit of a push, a little extra bit of a side bend. You can look down here, you could look forward, you could look up. Woo, you could fall over like I am. Take one more breath in. Breathe out, bring yourself all the way up, but keep your foot where it is. Bring your hands to your heart. Take your left leg, pull it back into your chest. Really squeezy, squeezy, squeezy here. And then maybe take those hands and loop them underneath your thigh for a bit of extra support. I'm going to turn sideways. Woo, here we go. This twist on the second side. You're going to take your right hand to the outside of your left thigh. Take your left hand to your hip, and then just pause here first, right? It's contained. We want to keep it contained to start. Use your left hand, oh my goodness, to draw your left hip down and pull that thigh up a little bit tighter. From here, keep growing tall, and use your breath out to rotate your upper body around to the left. Now, maybe this feels pretty fabulous. Maybe you can slide the hand down to meet the outside of the left foot and extend that leg if it's in your practice. You could always have it here and extend too, yeah? Maybe your back hand is really excited and on board with this twist, and as long as it feels okay, reaching that back hand behind you, taking a breath in. And you can fall at any time, right? That's sort of the fun, that's sort of the joy of the practice, is that it's practice, it's not perfect. It would be so boring if it was perfect every time. Take a breath in, take a breath out. One more time, breathe in. Breathe it out. Okay, this is where it gets exciting. Can we start to bend, if it's not exciting already, start to bend into the right leg, start to tip your body so you can take that left leg all the way down, bend your knees, you're in your chair. Now, maybe right away you can take a twist here. Maybe you're still happy with that hand on the hip, and you can still use your hands as a bit of a guide here. It doesn't have to be a full opening. Can we take 2 more breaths here, please? Inhaling in, exhaling it out. Sometimes I even just keep my hand at my chest. It's really, really up to you. It's your practice. Can we stay low? Can we start to bend into the elbows, bring the palms together, and use that as leverage to find a little more? It's kind of fun when we reverse engineer things, right? Like usually we would start down and work up, and we went up to down. Coming back to your breath. Breathing in. Exhale, let's sigh it out. Inhaling through your nose. Exhaling it out. Look down to the floor. Bring your hands to center. Sweep the arms, but stay low in your hips. One breath here. As you breathe out, lower your hands, step back to your plank. Now again, plank can be kneeling. You could be on your forearms. Take your right hand, scoot your right hand forward just a little bit. Start to roll around to the right pinky toe edge of your right foot and lengthen that arm up. Really enjoying the power of our hips and glutes here to lengthen up and out of our waist. Growing long from head to tail, that top arm is reaching. Now again, you could totally be on knees and one foot. You could have your left foot forward and up. You could be on hands and knees. You could be however makes sense in your body. Take 2 more breaths here, please. Inhaling in, exhaling it out. One more time, breathe in. As you breathe out, look down to the bottom hand. Start to bring yourself back into your center plank. Take an inhale to feel the strength of your foundation. As you breathe out, bend your knees. Start to draw your chest down to the floor. Inhale, baby cobra or full up dog. Exhale, push back, downward dog. 5 breaths here. Inhaling in. Let's exhale, sigh the first one out. Inhaling it in. Exhale, however feels good for you. Now, sometimes downward dog is sort of referred to as like our resting space or a collective space, which is kind of deceiving because it's not very restful at all. There's so much happening through our body to bring us here. So please don't feel like you have to fight to find rest or fight to feel anything. We really want this just to be a recalibration. Inhale all together, lift your heels, bend your knees, pop forward. As you exhale, one hop, many hops, or a few steps to find your feet to the floor. Inhale to lengthen up halfway. Exhale to lower back down, bend into your knees, squeeze those legs together, lengthen your spine up and out. Take an inhale to maybe get a little bit lower, then push through those legs, rise it up. Take a big breath in through your nose. Exhale it out. Take a second pause. We're here. We've arrived. Our feet are on the floor, our hearts are beating, and we're moving together. It's a pretty cool thing to be experiencing on a Sunday morning. Take one more breath in. And if there's anything you need to bring in to call into your practice, please feel free to do so right now. Maybe that's joy, maybe it's power, maybe it's a release you're looking with your movement. Just take a second to be like, yes, this is what I need today for me. Before we move, let's inhale. Before we move, let's exhale. We're going to inhale to reach those arms up to the ceiling. As we exhale, bend the knees, fold forward, forward fold. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale, step back. Can you step back into your downward dog this time, please? Taking a juicy bend if you need to. Feel your pelvis start to lengthen up towards the back wall. Draw the ribs in as if you were planking, and then start to experiment with stretching your legs. You're going to group down in the left leg, sweep the right leg up. Bend your right heel towards your right bum cheek and start to open that hip up. As we're spiraling here, notice your right shoulder might want to go with you. Can you keep the right shoulder parallel with the left? We're still trying to get that knee up and open that hip out. Maybe add some movement here if you'd like, some hip circles. I love a good hip circle here. It feels pretty good. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, bring those hips back to level. Lengthen the right leg behind you, three-legged dog. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, can you squeeze the knee up towards the nose, super round your spine, and make sure you're squeezing your left bum cheek. Inhale to take it back, three-legged dog. Same thing. Exhale, pull the right knee forward, squeeze the left glute, round the spine. One more time. Inhale it back. Exhale, squeeze to pull the leg in, and then delicately, with control, pop the right foot forward to meet your hands. Turn your left foot out, so we're intersecting middle of the left foot with the heel of the right, and then we windmill up, and we're here, warrior two. Taking a few breaths to get really grounded, little bits of housekeeping as we're here. Staying nice and juicy and low in those legs. Knee stacks right over your front heel. Squeeze the legs in together. Back toes parallel, back foot parallel with the mat. Centered with the body, rotating those thighs out, and then opening the arms. Let's flip our palms to face up together. We're going to add a little bit of exciting, fun movement here. So as you inhale, can you stretch your legs, reach your arms up? Exhale to open them back out, warrior two. Inhale, reach yourself up. Exhale to open it out. Two more, inhale it up here. Exhale. One more time, really reach up. Hold your tippy-toppy shape. Drop your left hand to your back left thigh. Keep your front leg straight and strong as you lengthen your body back. Inhale here. And exhale. I always feel incredibly powerful here. I feel like this is almost like the ready set, like the yellow light before the green light. Like I'm collecting. One more breath in here. As you breathe out, lengthen back out. Find your warrior two. Back hand, left hand is going to sweep forward as we take the back foot and we arrive facing the front of our mat up into a high lunge here. Let's bend the back knee a little bit so we can think really, really tall thoughts. And then stretching as much as you can with the back leg, but keeping the front leg bent. Let's take the hands down to our hearts. Use your hands to lengthen up through your chest. And can you start to tip your body forward? So we're kind of starting to like Frankenstein pieces together. Back leg is nice and long. Hands are at your heart. Let's start to tip our body forward, and maybe you can lift those toes. Maybe you lift those toes and you tip so much that you find yourself in a warrior three. Back toes are pointing down to the floor. Back leg is nice and straight and strong. Maybe you're so super strong and supported here. You can start to rotate your upper body to the right and place your left elbow against that front right leg. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. One more time, breathe in. Can you super delicately bend the left knee, pull it in to meet the right? You're back in that twisted chair. Ta-da! Take an inhale here. Take an exhale. Bring your arms back to center. Inhale, sweep them forward, but keep your bum low. And then exhale, stand up nice and tall. Right away, inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale to bend your knees, lower your lovely selves back into your forward fold. Inhale to lengthen up halfway. Exhale, lower your hands, step back, find your downward dog. Take a few breaths to troubleshoot, right? So maybe it needs a little something different. Maybe being on your forearms is a better place right now for your shoulders. Maybe being on hands and knees feels better. You can still participate in all of the downward dog juiciness. All right, let's breathe in together. Let's breathe it out. Can you sweep your left leg up for me this time? Pulling your left heel into your left bum cheek, really lift the thigh, and then start to rotate that leg back. As your left leg goes back, your left shoulder might want to roll with you. Can we keep bringing the shoulders to level? Lifting that thigh up, not forgetting about our right leg, and not forgetting about the ribs drawing in. If you'd like to add some little circles here, you totally can. That keeps keeping the prana, keeping the breath, the energy moving. One more breath here, please. One more breath out. Bring your hips back to center. Lengthen that left leg out. This is where we get from three-legged dog into our plank. So take a breath in. And as you breathe out, can you pull your left knee to your nose, round your spine, squeeze your right bum cheek. Inhale to shoot the left leg back as you find your three-legged dog. Exhale to squeeze it in. Now again, you could totally be in quadruped here. Hands and knees. One more time. Reach the left leg back. Squeeze the left knee in. And then as smoothly as you can, left foot arrives between your hands. Turn your back toes out. Windmill yourself up. Warrior two. Whew, I'm hot. Take a breath in. Take your breath out to find all your little bits of housekeeping, yeah? So front knee stacked right over the front ankle. Back toes parallel to the mat. Intersecting those feet, so front heel in line with back arch. Arms are forward. If you liked the lifted palm, please feel free to do that here too, yeah? I like it. It helps keep my shoulders calm. Let's take a few breaths to be here. Inhaling in. Exhale it out. Inhale in. We're trying to rotate that back thigh out, rooting into our feet. Adding our flow here. Inhale, stretch both of your legs, reach both of your arms up. Exhale to open back out. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale to open. Two more. Inhale. We're squeezing everything in like a milkshake. And then exhaling, we're like a waterfall radiating open. One more time. Inhale up. Keep the legs straight. Drop back right hand to right thigh. And take that really powerful up and over here. Gaze can be up, forward, down, whatever feels best for you. Just feeling that long line through the body. Taking one more breath in. And then as you exhale, bring it back out to your warrior two. Back right hand is going to sweep down to the floor. Our right forward as our back foot pivots. So we're up in that high lunge. Let's bend the back knee a little bit so we can orient our pelvis, which is going to be important, right? When we tip, now we know where we're going. When we tip, we're going to want our pelvis right underneath us. Once you have found your balance, start to stretch your back leg as much as you can, keeping that arrangement belly in. Let's take our hands, bring them down to our hearts. Start to tip forward so you're still maintaining your relationship. You're just changing the angle of your pelvis and torso. And then nice and slow when you're ready, start to lift that back leg to hover. Now, maybe this is where you stay. Maybe this feels pretty fabulous. Or maybe you can lengthen the back leg up so you're in more of a warrior three, but your front knee is bent. Whew. Very happy I have a wall here, definitely helping me. Squeeze those hands together, lengthen through your chest, and maybe it feels reasonable to start to twist so that your right elbow finds, I don't even know if I can do it on this side, find your left knee. lengthening up and out, and it's all fun, right? We're practicing, right? Practice makes more practice. Take one more breath in here, and then super delicately guide with control that back leg in, so you're in your twisted Utkatasana. We totally rocked it. Way to go, team. Using your hands to lengthen out through your torso and as a support to twist, but the strength of the twist comes from your own strength. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Look down to the floor. Bring your hands to center. Keep the bend in your knees. Just sweep those arms up. Inhale. One more round of flow if you'd like to. If you sort of want to just get ready for restorative, you're welcome to do that. Optional flow right from here. Inhale. As you exhale, fold over the legs, maybe straighten a little bit more. Inhale to come up halfway. Exhale to lower down, step back to your plank. Take an inhale to be nice and strong. As you breathe out, maybe dropping to the knees, lowering through your chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or full up dog. Exhale to roll back, downward dog. 5 breaths if you're in downward dog. Breathing in. Exhale, side out. Inhaling in. Exhaling it out. Drawing those ribs in, pushing the floor away, starting to slow the breath down here. 2 more breaths. Inhale in. Exhaling it out. Inhale. Lift your heels, bend your knees, and as you breathe out, melt down to the floor. Take a child's pose. All meeting in child's pose here. Bowing your heart to the floor. Stay in this orientation of where your head is. Just flip onto your back. So we're just rolling over. Bring your knees into our chest, giving ourselves just a little rock side to side. Let's place those feet on the floor. We're just going to go for 1 or 2 little bridges here. Nothing huge, right? So feeling your feet planted, drawing your heels into your glutes. You can also reach those arms up if you would like to the ceiling. Take an inhale. And as you breathe out, start to scoop your belly, push your feet through the floor, fire your glutes to lift your hips up. If bringing your hands down and wiggling shoulder blades underneath you is part of your practice, please feel free to do that. I really like to honor how much work I need in my low back, so I stay down here. Taking a breath in, taking a breath out. If your arms are underneath, if your shoulder blades are tucked, just gently wiggle them out. Roll yourself all the way down. 1 more like that, breathing in. As you breathe out, scooping through your belly, push your feet through the floor, fire your glutes as we lift our hips up, 1 vertebrae at a time. I also love taking my hands and reaching them back behind me, so I can feel that opposition of my knees shooting forward, my arms reaching back. Take your inhale here. Take your exhale. And then gently roll all the way down. Bring your knees into your chest. If you'd like to take a happy baby here, you can. As you do that, I'm going to start setting up and showing you our first restorative shape together. So for our Shavasana together today, our restorative part, we're going to do just a little side bend, which is why you need so many props. So if you're rocking it out in a happy baby, please feel free to crack on with that. If you're ready to restore, let's restore. So calling in, drawing in those blankets and pillows. Establish where you want the top of your mat to be. So my top of the mat is going to be up this way. Actually, it's not. It's going to be down here. I might as well. The pillows are already there. I'm going to take first I'm going to take one of my blankets. So I really feel like we're going to all of this trouble to create a really, really delicious resting shape for our bodies. And it sort of loses it a little bit if then we're just touching cold floor, right? So I like to take a blanket and just lay it out over my mat, especially because I'm on a wooden floor. If you're on a carpet, you might not need to, but I just like how it just continues the energy of what we're doing. So that's step 1. Step 2 is whatever pillow you have that's like the biggest, comfiest for your head, you're going to make that your head pillow. So that for me, that's where my head's going to go. My second pillow, and it could be the same shape, but definitely not bigger. We don't want the second one to be bigger than your head one. It's going to come just a little bit away. So basically what I'm going to be doing is lining my hip up with the second pillow, allowing my waist to come over, my arm goes through, and then my head relaxes down. Now I could actually afford to build that one up a little bit. That's a very squishy pillow. So I'm just gonna swap it out and see if this is a little bit better. No, maybe I'll go with this one. This is why it's nice to have options, yeah? As I'm troubleshooting. You know what? I'm actually gonna go back to this guy. Okay, so pillows are set up. That's pretty much the bulk of it, really, is that shape. Now, I want to give you options if you have shoulder stuff. So depending on the height of your pillows, if you have stuff happening through your shoulder, you might want to give it a little bit of a lift so it's not just hanging out. You'll just take another blanket and you'll put it in that middle space. Does that make sense? So now, when my arm comes through, this is kind of messy, but hopefully you get the gist. When my arm comes through, it's not hanging quite so low. Make sense? I don't need it for this one though, because I have enough going on here. So head pillow, waist pillow, arm pillow if you want it. I highly recommend getting a pillow for between your knees because your legs will be together. And then this is just an extra little treat that I like to do is, let me take a blanket. So again, if you have extra blankets, so I like to make like a little head nook, like a little crown for myself. I have a lot of stuff happening through my head, neck, shoulders, and sometimes just lying flat like that is not delicious enough long term. And remember, we're looking for delicious. So I'm going to put a blanket over that pillow. So I'm going to tuck it in, and I will show you what that looks like. Let me just pull this in a little bit for Instagram. Final little piece of the pie. If you have any blankets left over, they're going to come on top. So this first setup is like, it's a little wordy, right? Because I'm walking you through it. But then when we flip to our other side, you won't have to worry so much. It'll already be there for you. Set up at the top a little bit higher for your head, something that's a little bit lower for your waist, and then coming all the way down. Now, once you're down, if you do have that blanket on top, you're going to start to fold all of the corners in and around you. And don't forget behind you as well. And you're just going to keep tucking and rolling and tucking. And can you see how it's making like a little, ooh, that feels so good. Like a little nest for my head. Just keep folding and tucking and folding and tucking until you have that nest. You're going to take a few breaths in, start to close your eyes and breathe it out. Now this top arm, if you happen to have a pillow spare, you can take the top arm and just sort of squeeze it in. Let it rest on a pillow. I like to take my top hand underneath. So I'm like this. Please don't rush to get into this. Please don't feel like you want to set up like a rented version. We want this to be a custom suit. Does that make sense? Bringing our energy down. Closing your eyes if that feels good for you. Knowing that I'm here the whole time, guiding the space, holding space. Taking some breaths in through the nose and letting that breath start to just trickle out. Feeling our body starting to cool from all of the hard work we just did. Noticing if there are places in your body that are holding on that could benefit from having a bit of love and breath sent to them to just chill, to release, to relax. Knowing that this part of our practice, the restoration, is just as important as the movement. Feeling the earth underneath you and surrendering to it. I'm going to leave you with a little bit of silence here, but know that I'm still here, no computer glitches, and I'll be here to guide you into your second side. Using your inhales as a way to drop a little bit deeper. Using your breath to drop a little bit deeper. Is there anything you can do to make yourself just a little more comfy? A little wiggle, a little tuck, an extra breath. Surrendering to the shape, surrendering to the support. And you stay in this gorgeous juju, this gorgeous energy bubble you've created for yourself. And with as little energy as possible, you're just going to take this shape and flip it over to your other side. That might mean if you have that top blanket tuck that you need to retuck it just a little. And as you stay on your second side, I'm going to play some chimes for you. So again, just knowing that you're tucked in, nothing to worry about. This is your practice. And I'm still here with you. staying exactly as you are. Noticing if there's anything you can do to make yourself just a little bit comfier. Using your breath as a way to get just a little bit deeper. I'm still here with you. I'm going to give you another minute just to be where you are, exactly as you are. Using your breath to take a nice deep breath in and exhaling to sigh it out. Trying to be as slow and purposeful as possible. Can you slide out the pillow that's underneath your waist and make your way back onto your back? So you're on your back, you can maybe let those legs fall nice and long, or maybe you take that pillow and slide it underneath your knees. Just taking an extra moment here to be still, be thoughtful. When you're ready, starting to add a little wiggle of fingers or toes. Maybe reach those arms back behind you for a stretch. And when you're ready, rolling back over onto one side. Maybe your eyes are still closed here. And then bringing yourself all the way up to seated. Again, eyes closed if that feels reasonable for you. And let's take our hands and give them a little rub together. And then place your fingertips over your temples, palms gently over the eyes. Giving yourself a little massage through the hairline, around the forehead, around the eyes, but still keeping the eyes closed. Maybe into the jaw a little bit, behind the ears, back of the head. And then bringing those hands all the way back up over the eyes. About halfway through our practice, our more physical asana, we chatted very quickly about calling in something or letting go of something. And so just taking this moment to reflect on whatever it is you brought in, or whatever it is we're letting go of. Gently flutter your eyes open under your hands. Bring your hands down to your heart. One hand over heart or heart center. Second hand over that, bowing in. I'm reading a book right now, and it's very anecdotal in the stories that it tells, and you can relate them to a religious practice or a spiritual practice, whatever it is that is in your wheelhouse. And at the end of a statement that could be potentially like hardship-ish, the writer adds, without God. Now, God can be whatever that means for you. For me, I was thinking about it and I resonate more with without trust or without faith, without divine. And so this whole week, every time I have felt the urge to say, this is really hard, even when it's true, At the end of it, I've been tacking on without trust, without faith, without divine. And it's really interesting what just adding on those two words or that little phrase at the end of a sentence where I feel like I can't do something or I won't be able to do something suddenly gives me space to feel like I can. And so I invite you to experiment, to play whatever your without blank is throughout your day-to-day or throughout your week. And just notice if it does something wonderful for you. And it's just an invitation. You don't have to, but it's a very curious practice. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, for allowing me to guide you through your physical asana and your restorative practice. It's always such a pleasure, such a gift, and I feel very grateful to be able to connect with you like this. May all beings everywhere be free. May they be peaceful, and may they feel joy. And may we be so full in those feelings that we're able at any point to trickle a little bit of that back out into the world. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, your joy, your love. Have a fabulous rest of your day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're joining me on